Welcome back, guys, to Sharpen Your Sword podcast. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for everything you guys do for the podcast and help us out. We love hearing from you guys, and we love putting these episodes out. Today on episode 37, we are going to talk about faith and hard work. You can't have one without the other, okay? And like always, I'm here with the number one co-host in the world, Giovanni Jimenez.
Hey.
So, guys, I'm going to talk to you guys about what happened, how we got to this point, okay? And so today is Tuesday. We are shooting this podcast on a Tuesday. Yesterday was Monday. I have not seen Gio in a few days. And Gio walks in, and I noticed something different about Giovanni. Like, no jokes aside. At first, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. And then I'm like, man, this guy's asking questions. The way he's talking, the way he's walking, the way he's acting. Like, everything has a different vibe than the usual Giovanni that walks in on Monday, right? And the truth is, sometimes on Mondays, he walks in like kind of dragging his feet almost. Being honest with you. No. He doesn't want to hear it. Sometimes, not a lot. But sometimes it's like he comes in like, it's almost like, and I'm just being honest, and I'm just saying what I see. Okay? I'm looking at him right now, and he's thinking like, this dude right here. But it's almost like he's going through the motions, okay? This is just truth, okay? This is just the truth, all right? So, yesterday, Monday, he comes in, and I'm like, you know what? Screw this. My problem is, guys, I pay too much attention to detail. And I was like, you know what? If you think it, just tell him. And so I'm like, Gio, there's something different about you today. There is something different. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, man, your whole vibe is different. Like, what's going on? You know? And he kind of like smiles like with a grin and looks at me. And he said, man, you know, I thought a lot this weekend. Something along these lines. Gio, jump in whenever you want to.
Yeah.
I thought a lot this weekend. I've been doing a lot of thinking. And when Gio tells me that, and it's a Monday morning, we haven't seen each other, we have like the most powerful talk some mornings that is like, and for me, sometimes I'm like, okay, this is podcast worthy. And so this one was podcast worthy, okay? And so he said, man, he was talking about money, like numbers. And how you have to have this much and have to work this much and make this much per week to get this much at a certain age. And I was just thinking, like, I got to do something, you know? Something along those lines. I kind of forgot, honestly.
Yeah, it takes you 20 years. You got to save $1,000 for 20 years to get $1 million.
And he hit me with that stat. You got to save $1,000 a week for 20 years to make $1 million, come up with $1 million. And he was just like, it just made me think a lot about what I'm doing and about everything and about the way I'm working. And I need to, I think you said I need to quit playing.
I need to shift gears, yeah.
Yeah, I need to shift gears. The first month is gone. The first month of the year is gone. And he posted something on Sunday. It was a picture of a black belt, which I love seeing a black belt, a jiu-jitsu black belt. And it said something like, hey guys, have you guys been following up with your goals? Are you still on track? The first month of the year is gone. It's the end of January. And I woke up Monday and I shot an episode on this on my Monday morning show on the Academy social media. And I talked to people like, are you guys following up with your dreams? Are you still on the course? Because we knew a couple of weeks ago was National Quitters Day. 80% of the population quits their dreams. And so now this is all just like spiraling out of effect. Sunday, he makes a post. Monday morning, I make the post, this video. And then Monday, I talk to Gio. And he said, I just need to shift gears. And I made up this video and I told people that your life relies on it. The work that you do today is for the dreams that you have tomorrow. Okay, the work that you do today is for the dreams that you have tomorrow. So for the dreams that you're looking forward to, the dreams that you want to achieve, whatever it is, guys, whatever it is, you have to do the work today. Okay? And that was my spiel in the morning. I talked to Gio. He comes in. I need to shift gears. He's like, holy shit. Excuse my French. I don't mean to say it like that. I need to shift gears. The first month is gone. I have 11 months left. Because we had a meeting a couple weeks ago talking about how we need to make every single day count. You remember?
Yeah.
And now he's looking at me saying, first month is gone, Mo. And I'm like, yep, that's right. And he said, it's time to shift gears. Okay? And now he hits me with the thing that he hit me 2.5 years ago. And I kind of acknowledged it, 'cause I think he's in a different place now. But I still had to give him my 2 cents on this. And that's why we're shooting a podcast. But he said, I have faith it's going to work. And I said, at the end, is exactly what he did. He kind of put his hands up like this. He said, man, I think in the end, I just have faith it's going to work. And
100%.
100%. And here we go. And so that's what we're going to talk about, okay? Faith and hard work. Can you have one without the other? Or do you have to have one? Or can you have one but not the other? Which one is it? Okay? Gio, what do you think?
100%. So back to I was super motivated because so I'm Catholic, and they teach you if you want something from God, you got to ask for it, right? It can't just happen. Like, you have to actually go to church and you have to ask for it, and you have to talk to him. And it's not just you got to ask for it, and it's not just me expecting it to fall in my lap. It's not that. It's you have to ask for it, and God is going to give you an opportunity for it. You know, like if you ask him for patience, he's probably going to send you, like, for example, like I'm a coach. If I ask for patience, he's going to send me a kid that's going to really test my patience. You know, he's not just going to give it to me. I'm going to have to work for it. So I was thinking Saturday, I was thinking, I'm like, man, I want this stuff. And I was asking God for it. And I'm excited because I'm like, I know a challenge is going to come, right? It's not going to fall in my lap. But I'm excited because I believe that if he gives me the opportunity, then I can take advantage of it. And then my goals can happen. And so that's why I was super excited, right? And we're talking about, I was like, man, I have faith. I have faith that that God got me, right? And that's what the conversation spiraled into. Like, yes, it is good to have faith, but you can't just be blind and just throw your hopes to God and put all your belief and put all this energy that is just mental into believing that's going to happen, but there's no action behind your thoughts. And if there's no action behind your thoughts, then, you know, you're just going to stay in the same place, just hoping, you know? And that's when the whole thing went on, right? Which 2 years ago, the thing was like, I was like, it's just going to happen for me. Like, I believe it's going to happen because I believe that, I just believe I'm different, right? And everybody says they're built different. And if everybody's built different, then everybody's built the same way. You know what I'm saying? If everybody's built different, because everybody claims they're built different, and there's all these differences, it sounds to me like you're all the same. But everybody thinks it's gonna happen for them, and like the infamous story was Mo's like, everybody thinks the same thing. It's not like that. Like, you have to actually grind for it, and that's what happened.
Yeah. And now we're sitting right here gonna talk to you guys about it. Okay. 2.5 years ago, he told me, Mo, I just know I'm different. I just have a feeling it's going to happen to me. But how many people that wanted to become millionaires said that? How many people that wanted to become high school basketball players said that? How many people that wanted to become athletes say that? How many people that wanted the position in the job, career, say that? It's going to just happen to me, okay? And I guess at the end of the day, that is some kind of faith, right, Gio?
Yeah.
The truth is, I guess that is some kind of faith. Because you asked me a very powerful question that we're going to get to, which honestly gave me chills because it reminds me of the old days. But at the end of the day, it is some kind of faith. You have faith in something, whatever it is that you think that's going to give it to you, whether it's God or you just think it's faith in your conscience talking to you or your mind or your delusional status saying, hey, it's going to happen, whatever it is, okay? At the end of the day, there's some faith. But I think it's empty sometimes, okay? And I say that because I truly believe you have to go out and take what you want. Okay? Not just earn, not just deserve. Deserve is just a word, and I don't believe in deserving anything. I believe you have to go out and take it. That's what I believe, and that's the way I learned, and that's the way that I know. That you have to go take what you want. Whatever it is, go take it. Okay? And so, I believe in God. I'm a Muslim, and we do put a lot of our faith, most of our faith, actually, the truth is, we put all of our faith into God, and that it's going to happen. And I truly believe that. I put my reliance on the God, and I say, you're the all-knowing, and I don't know anything. You're big, and I'm small, right? And I think that if you want it for me, I will get it at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Okay? And whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Whatever's meant to be is meant to be. It's going to happen. But it also says that you have to do your part. This is the part that, at least in my religion, that people want to leave out. Does it say it in yours?
Yes, it says, yeah, exactly. It says the same thing.
You know what I mean? So I think people leave this part out. Because like you told me this morning, was that people have a better chance of believing that God will make it happen for them than they will do it for themselves. Correct?
Absolutely.
You know? And I think that happens because they don't have any belief in themselves. They don't have faith in themselves. So they have to put it into something else. And I'm not saying putting it into God is wrong. But even from the book and the religion, we know that just putting it into God is not enough to get it. You have to do your part. Because otherwise, everybody would be rich. Everybody would have whatever they want. Guaranteed. Just be born and just wait for it to happen. But that's not the case. Things are put in your way. Obstacles are put in your way. Pit stops are put in your way. Detours are put in your way. All these things are put into your way, and you're going to have to decide whether you're going to take it or not, whether you're going to go around it or not, whether you're going to fix it or not, whether you're going to take these opportunities or not. That's the thing that you have to decide. You have to educate yourself. You have to have the tools and the knowledge and everything that it is that comes with it to make the right decision that will get you closer to what it is that you want. So yes, I put all my reliance and belief and faith into God. Okay? But the big but is you have to go take what you want. Simple. At the end of the day, you have to go take what you want. If I waited for the academy to open, I will tell you right now, the academy would never be open. This podcast would never be here. If I have to wait for it to happen, it would never happen. Ever. Because I will come up with 1,000 excuses, 1,000 reasons on why I can't make it happen or why it's not supposed to happen. Rather than get my butt off the couch and go do it. Go take what I want. Go make what I want happen. And I'm having this conversation with you guys today because you guys need to make what you want happen. Your dreams have to happen if you want them. Okay? You have to make them happen. It can't just be, of course, God is going to do his part, right? If you have faith in God. But you have to do your part. After you put faith into God, you have to work. You have to get your hands dirty. You have to get into the trenches, and you have to work for what you want. You can't sit there in la land and take the easy way out by just saying it's going to happen. I just believe it's going to happen. That's not enough for it to happen.
Yeah. So this thing though is like people are like, well, you know, if I grind hard and if I almost think like God is not gonna happen for me, like that's almost like me believing that. That's almost like me not trusting in God. If I have to work that hard, like if I treat it as if it's not gonna happen for me and have to work that hard, that's almost like me not having belief in God. Or no? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but I think again, I think that's an easy way to look at it, because I just told you it says in my book, you're gonna put your belief. The truest believers put their reliance and belief into God, right? Which is hard to do, to be honest. Okay, but after that, it says you have to do your part. You have to do your share. You have to get educated. You have to gain the knowledge needed. You have to acquire the skills needed. Is that what it says in your book?
Yes, I mean it's faith without work is just dead.
Faith without work is just dead, right? So I think anybody else that uses a different excuse or tries to put the argument that, oh, you saying that means you don't believe in God. That's what I think. If somebody says that, I think they just don't believe. They probably don't believe in God, and they probably don't believe in their own self of making it happen.
Yeah.
So they have to find something to kind of roadblock themselves, to block themselves from really figuring out that they have to go do work. Oh, bro, you just don't believe in God. I don't know. You saying that means that no, I'm saying I believe in God, but I understand you have to do the share. You have to do the work.
Yeah. Oh, I just made me think about one thing. It's like I've talked to so many people, right? And then, like, we just talk about like success or whatever, right? Now, most of these people were like in their 40s, right? And we were just talking. It wasn't like me confronting people or anything. I would never confront somebody about like their success or lack thereof or whatever. God bless them. Everybody has on their own path. But a lot of people would be like, like let's say they didn't achieve what they wanted in life, and they had these goals that they wanted to achieve. They didn't go after them, and they're like, "This is what God wanted for me, and I am not ungrateful." Right? No, hey, they hit you with that. I'm not ungrateful. Okay, I get it, right? But people, they don't achieve the level that they wanted success, right? Truly. And they say, this is what God wanted for me. What do you say about that? I think they're kind of like, again, they're like going to use an excuse, Like God wants the best for you. God doesn't necessarily want you to, I don't mean God wants you to have like 10 Lamborghinis. But God does want you to live a prosperous life and spiritually, family, monetary wise, so you can bless other people. But what do you say about that? Like people would be like, just like, bro, I'm where I'm at because that's where God wants me to be.
I think again, it's an excuse. Now, as I've gotten older, I do believe that God makes things happen for a certain reason. He does things for a certain reason, okay? And I think to some instances, maybe some things have happened to prevent you from maybe going down a different rabbit hole, a different direction that's probably going to be bad for you, okay? So, yes, maybe God did step in and say, okay, this is not for you. This is not the road that we're going to take. But I think, again, for the majority, I think they're just full of it. I'll be honest with you. I think they're just full of it. And it's just another excuse of why they didn't achieve what they wanted. And they put it back on something else rather than themselves. And I will be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. Is it me talking this way because I had a hard time coming up? And I think if you have a hard time coming up and getting what you want, do you have a lot of sympathy? Do you really feel as much? Like, no, bro. You're just making excuses at the end of the day of why it didn't happen. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
So this is a battle that you have to have within yourself, because I've had this battle. I vividly remember at 18, just sitting there looking like, God, why is this me? Like, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
It ain't working. It's not working. Why is this happening to me? And in the moment, it was me questioning, right? But if I just said, you know what? This is what God wanted for me, I would have just stopped there. And guess what? I don't think I would have had what I have now.
Yeah.
I honestly, God, don't think so.
If you just accepted the circumstance.
If I just accepted it. Okay, this is what God wanted, bro. You tried day in and day out, one thing after the next, and it didn't work. I think if I stopped there, I think I would still be looking back like, oh, okay. I think I would have been pitied, pitiful. You know what I mean? I don't think I would have been as strong. And probably looking for somebody to feel sorry for me if I stopped back there.
Yeah.
Just being honest with you.
Dang, that's sad.
I think that's what happens, though. Whether it's sad or not, I think that's what happens. But guess what? I had faith. I still had faith. That I had faith that I knew what I wanted. I knew the vision that I wanted. I knew the purpose that I thought I had. The purpose that was for me. Right? And I went and took it. It's not simple. It's just that simple, though. I went and took it. It took me you know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years to do it. But it happened.
Yeah. So one thing we'll talk about, you kind of talking about it, it's in your first stages, right? In your entrepreneurship journey and your journey, self-discovery and the journey of success. It's so when you first start off in the grind coming up, it was like, did you have faith that it was gonna happen? Did you know, like, I have faith is gonna happen? And were there moments where, like, you come to question, like, holy shit, maybe it's getting kind of hard?
Yeah, man. The difference is, did I have faith? Yeah. The answer is yes. But what kind of faith did I have? Okay. There's multiple kind of faiths that you can have, in my opinion. And I don't even think it's just an opinion. I think this is just a given. If you're a believer of God, you have faith in God. And then the other side is faith in yourself. Most of these people don't have faith in themselves. Most. They don't have faith in themselves to know that they have the tools to achieve what it is that they want. The task at hand, the objective at hand. They don't have faith in themselves to even achieve it. So that's why they put only the reliance on God, and they use the excuse if it doesn't happen, that this is what God chose.
Yeah.
But the truth at the end of the day also, this is kind of contradicting myself. Whatever God wants is going to happen. But also, it may not make sense to say this. It's kind of confusing. You have to do your part, bro. You have to do your part.
Yeah.
Because maybe God doesn't give you everything that you're supposed to have because the work that you did not do. You know what I mean? Maybe you were supposed to have more. But God, maybe, this is just me. It's just maybe. I don't want to overstep in this religious talk. But maybe you did not do enough to achieve what God had for you in mind, for the bucket of all the blessings.
Yeah.
If you do all this, if you go on this journey, Mo, and you work and you go through these hardships and all this, you know, then maybe you get to see everything that I have in this bucket for you. Maybe that's how it is. Maybe this is how this thing works.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I think. But the golden question that you have, at that age, I don't think I had enough faith into God. But I had faith in me. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
And I want to clarify, having faith in me is not as powerful as having faith in God. Okay? But you weren't going to stop me back then. I had so much faith in myself. And when you asked me that question this morning, I told you to write it down. Dude, when I tell you like my heart sank in my stomach,
yeah,
it's because I felt that day. Like I can feel the days that I had the self-talk. The days that I said, bro, you got it. Doesn't matter how hard it is, you got it. You know what I mean? And it gives me chills thinking about it. Got my hair standing up on my arms. But if I wasn't there for myself, then I would not be sitting here today. You know, this is a good quote, actually. If I was not there for myself back then, I would not be sitting here today with myself. With my true self, I guess. I would probably be just like what I like to tell people is like just a walking character on the face of the earth that didn't achieve anything.
Yeah.
So I think because of this journey, the last 12, 13 years, because of that journey, I think I have found myself. I truly believe that. Yeah. Now, I think it's a never-ending journey of truly finding yourself sometimes. You always find more and learn more, and you push yourself to get better. But I think I found myself because of that. And the faith that I had was everlasting, never quitting faith in myself. And that I knew deep down inside, I truly believe it. I didn't just say it. I truly believe, Mo, you're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
It was just that simple. Like I knew that I was not going to quit on myself until I was put 6 feet under the ground. That I was going to make what I wanted happen. And by the grace of God, thank God, it happened.
But that you had faith that you were going to force it to happen. Not just like, oh, I have faith like everybody else.
No, I had faith that I was going to force it to happen. I was going to go take it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of things that I was doing with like sometimes with a lot of energy and anger, and some things I've done, because it's like, I'm going to make this happen by force. I'm going to take it because I believe this is what is supposed to happen. And when somebody tried to get in my way, I got even more angry and more motivated and more energized, because I started believing like, bro, you're trying to prevent me from doing what I know I'm supposed to do. Now you're trying to stop me, and that's ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna work. You know what I mean? And so from that young age of just sitting there, if you're sitting there by yourself on the street selling merchandise, if you don't have faith in yourself, how long are you gonna go? How far are you gonna go?
Yeah.
So I had to embed this in my head to have faith for many things. I had to make myself believe that I was gonna have a successful day when I went to Kentucky. I had to have faith that when I go to Kentucky to set up, there's a place called Mayfield, Kentucky. I used to go.
You went to Kentucky to set up?
Yeah, I went to Mayfield, Kentucky, small town in Kentucky, going through all these cornfields and everything. And I set up at a gas station. It's a big lot. There's a McDonald's, there's a gas station, and there's a big empty spot right there in a patch of grass. I remember one day, the last time I went there, I think it was the last time actually. Mm-hmm. I had to make myself believe. I remember, cause I was telling everybody around me, they kept talking me out of it. It ended up backfiring, but I believe it happened for a reason. But I had to make myself believe to go, that it's gonna work for me to drive all those hours and set up in the middle of nowhere to make money. I had to make myself believe that. I was 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
18, 19 years old. I set up, 4 or 5 dudes come out of a car. First time when I pulled up, few things come out. First thing that happened that day, 4 or 5 like thugs come out the car at once, like all doors, four doors. And I'm like, hey, this is it. Okay. Fast forward a few minutes. By the time I'm almost done unloading, code enforcement pulls up. Mm-hmm. They're trying to kick me out. They told me to pack up. I have faith still that we're going to make money. So I told my friend, I told him, pack up. And I gave him a wink.
Yeah.
Dead serious. I gave him a wink, which means don't. That's like the code sign, don't pack up. Because I knew, because I got in the car with code enforcement, but I told him, I said, look, we're going to pack up. But if you're going to take me to City Hall to try to get a permit, give me a ride. Right? And so they wouldn't give me a ride. And so I just told my friend to just pack everything in the boxes and I'm going to be back. Okay? And they're closed. So I already know that they're screwing me on this. Mm-hmm. Okay? I still had faith that I was going to make it happen to get a permit, which I knew they weren't going to give me one. Yeah. But the whole time I'm preparing myself to negotiate a permit, I get there, the whole office, everything is lights off, turned off. Like a freaking movie.
Yeah.
We walk down this long hall, lights are off. You can hear the footsteps in the hallway echoing as we walk. We're not talking to each other. We go through 1 door, 2 doors, 3 doors. I'm at this desk, at this office with this lady sitting behind a desk. Nobody's there but her. Uh-huh. Okay? I had faith, I'm still gonna get it. I get there, ended up just for them to do that to me. They did all that to me just to tell me no. And they knew they're going to tell me no.
Yeah.
So you made me waste all that time just to give me the middle finger? And of course, I'm upset about it, right? I'm getting pissed thinking about it right now. But I still had faith that I'm going to make it work. I didn't come all this way to not make it work. And I go back with no permit. And my job at this point, my goal at this point was just to sell something. Like, let me just make $20. And people were rolling in. And I'm not packing up. I said, screw it.
Yeah.
Right? Code enforcement come back. You got to go right now. So it kind of backfired. But now looking back at it with faith in God, looking at the events, I hit the road. I went 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours there. I went to another town. I went to Paris, Tennessee. I refused to go back home. Then I went to McKinsey, Tennessee. I refused to go home, and it still didn't work. I stayed the night over there, and I went to another spot. It still didn't work. I still have faith I was going to make it happen. But looking at all of this, leaving Mayfield, Kentucky, maybe I would have got shot if I stayed that day. Maybe those dudes pulling up first thing in the morning was a sign like, hey, today was not going to end well for you. Now, I didn't think that way back then. I didn't care about those guys. I didn't care about nothing. I cared about making money. I had one objective, is to make it happen. My faith was to make it happen. But now, as I get older, my faith is like, God looked out for me that day.
Yeah. That's crazy. And I never knew that story. That's pretty funny story. Everything turned out good, right? In hindsight. But you talked about this. I'll say this before we move on to the next topic. So it's so I was reading this story in the Bible, right? And I told you about it yesterday, right? It was like it was about this dude Joseph. Joseph was sold by his brothers because his brothers were jealous of him because Joseph was like his dad's favorite, right? Because his dad had a lot of kids, but Joseph was one of the sons from the wife that he did love. He had 4 wives, and he only loved one of them. And the one son that he did have was Joseph, which is kind of messed up. You got favorites. But anyway, Joseph was his favorite.
But I think parents got favorites anyway, though.
I think parents do got favorites. But
it's a random topic, but I do truly think so.
I remember there's one lady, she had a good rebuttal for that, though. She was like, one pastor, he was like, he had 10 brothers in total. The lady was like, look at all my fingers. I don't like not one finger more than the other finger. Right? Because he was always trying to get his mom to say that he was her favorite. But Joseph gets sold, right? And then God lets Joseph get sold and go into slavery and all this stuff and go to jail. And then he ends up being like in the hierarchy of Egypt, right? And in the very high status, is able to bless his family and save his family years down the road from starvation. So just to say that God will bless you, but he will not prevent you from the hardships. You know, he will not hide that from you. He'll make you go through that before you can get the blessings. So, hindsight kind of relates to your story. You know, you got to go through that tough stuff, but God will bless you in the end. You know, what a big topic is, even though there's people might do malice intent towards you, God will use that to bless you. God will use people's evil actions for your own good. So you mentioned this. It said, hard work without faith is empty. You know? So you talk about like when you just grind endlessly, right? But you don't have a purpose. You know, you lack belief, or you don't have a bigger picture that in your mind, you know, you're just picking up the shovel and just digging. But there's no faith, there's no belief, there's no bigger image of purpose in your life. It's just work. We talked about it yesterday. You said if you make it all just about the money, you'll lose your mind.
I forgot we talked about that. That's the other thing that we talked about is because Gio was talking about the dollar amount. You kept talking about the dollar amount. And the dollar amount is given. I don't care what you think. This is just my 2 cents on this. The dollar amount has to be given, guys. You need some kind of money. I can't stand when people say it's not about the money. Of course, don't be attached to it, but you need to have X amount of dollars to live a life these days. It's not possible. So you have to come up with that figure so you can see success. Because the truth is, if you can't have a goal like that, what do you have goals in? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you make your goals for? You know? Now, you don't have to be money hungry. You know, and I was talking to Gio about this yesterday, And I told him, I said, Gio, listen, you know, because I fell for this trap before, and I still fall for it, okay? And I told you, put the dollar amount to the side. The dollar amount is good. You need the dollar amount, but put it to the side. Put it to the side right now. Look at what you have. Look at what you got so far. Look at what your purpose is. What is your purpose? Is your purpose to be a millionaire? Is that your purpose? Or is your purpose to be a coach? Which one makes you happier? Which one you think is going to make you happier? If you were to say, let's talk hypothetically. If you were to get $1 million today, if I was to give you $1 million today, but you're not doing jiu-jitsu and you're not a coach. And think, I want you to think good of this.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll be happier with the $1 million? Or do you think you'll be happier in the academy, training, teaching, and being around the people that you love?
I think that initially, like, getting $1 million will be a big high. Like, the $1 million is getting a big high, and then you spend money. But then I think once, like, the dust settles down, and then you're like, damn, there's nothing going on in my life. My life has no meaning. Then you get depressed, you get anxiety, and then you fucking get on antidepressants, and it's just sad, you know?
I agree. So, and I told you, I said, look, bro, just look at what it is that you have. Of course, work for the dollar amount. Of course, work for the dollar amount. You 100%. Know? And for a long time, all I chase is the dollar amount. And to some case, I still am. I just have a goal. I just want to achieve this goal. That's it. I just want to win. That's all I want. I want to keep the promise that I left myself. Okay? But I've realized, and I told you this yesterday, that you will work yourself to the ground. You will lose your mind chasing things when you don't realize your purpose. So if you hit 1 million and you don't have a purpose, you think you're going to be happy? If you hit 5 million and you don't have no purpose, you think you're going to be happy? 10 million and you don't have a purpose, you think you're going to be happy? Initially, yes, you may get a high, a buzz, a dopamine rush. I'm a millionaire. I can buy whatever I want. But how come so many millionaires and billionaires commit suicide? They have all the money in the world.
Yeah.
They have everything at their hands. You know, if you ask me what I think it is, I think it's the lack of purpose. I think when you don't have a purpose in life, that doesn't matter what you attain, you're not going to be happy. And I realized this a few years ago. I was chasing and I was chasing and I was chasing and I was chasing. And my mom kept telling me, and somebody, my dad told me the other day, he said, I realized that you like to win, and when you win it, you move on to the next thing. Which to some case, it is true because I promised myself something. So when I promise myself something, I have faith in myself, I have to make it happen for me to maintain that faith.
Yeah.
But I realize it's on a bigger level than that. It's on a level that you have to have purpose. What did I tell you about jiu-jitsu? I was on this journey of becoming a jiu-jitsu black belt. Okay? And here I am almost 11 years of just jiu-jitsu. You know, of me training it. But my dream of becoming a jiu-jitsu black belt has been longer than 11 years. The dream has probably been 15 years. Since I was a little kid, I wanted to be a jiu-jitsu black belt. And in the midst of this, I got lost. I forgot what the true purpose of jiu-jitsu was. I forgot what my true purpose in jiu-jitsu was. And it became almost like it was nothing to me. And I hate to say that.
What do you mean?
It became like I achieved the thing that I wanted, but I didn't see what the purpose of that thing was for me. The purpose of the black belt for me is not to win competitions. Is what I realized. The purpose of the black belt for me was not for fame or ego or pride only. The purpose of my black belt was to give back, was to empower people. It wasn't for anything else of selfish reasons. I thought it was of selfish reasons that purpose was. Until years later, I realized that this is my purpose. And when I realized this is my purpose, I hang my belt up every single day now. I hang my belt up. I don't put it nowhere. I hang it right back up.
Yeah. Powerful. I told you about this example yesterday. So I was listening to this one guy talk, and he was talking about like he got a German Shepherd, and he was saying that when he got his German Shepherd, it was crazy as hell. So they brought in a trainer to train him for like 3 weeks, and pretty much the trainer told the owner, he was like, yeah, you know, with dogs like these, they need to have a purpose. They have to know what's their role in the family, what's their role in the household. Like, why are they here? They're not just here for you to post pictures on Facebook and by the way, nobody likes your dog as much as you. You know, I'm gonna get a dog soon, so I'm gonna post pictures. But I know deep down inside, nobody cares about my dog like I care about it. But regardless, so the purpose of the dog, it says you need to give it a purpose. It says when the shepherd doesn't have its purpose, then it's gonna start going crazy. It's gonna start digging holes in the backyard. It's going to just start doing random things, like it looks like it's mischievous things, just because he wants to feel something. He wants to feel like there's a purpose behind their existence. And he was like, and the correlation is, you know, young men, people are just like that. They're like, when they don't have a purpose, they start digging holes. And those holes become vices in life. It can be gambling. It can be picking up drugs, marijuana, like something light, right? Pick up like chemical drugs, and that's horrible. It could be alcohol. It could be addiction to sex. It could be so many things that you pick up that just give you these highs because you have no purpose. You know, the high, like the satisfaction, the dopamine that you get from your purpose is like, it's unmatched. It's like, I think about it like this. When you have your purpose and the high you get from that, it's like you get like high quality food. And the high you get from like getting high from, let's say, alcohol, getting drunk from alcohol, it's like McDonald's food. Mm-hmm. Yes, you get a high, but then you feel like crap afterwards. Yeah. You know? And that's that. When I heard that, I'm like, man, that's very powerful. That's true. I remember when I didn't have a purpose, it was like you just go about your day. You just live in the same day over and over, getting distracted, getting these dopamine rushes through social media, through food, through all the whole American system is filled for you to be dumb and happy. And then that high it's not satisfying for life. It's not the life you want to live. So the power of purpose is definitely very powerful. Very underestimated. You know, I think people always say you got to find your purpose, but people don't understand, like, what do you mean purpose? You know, what do you mean purpose?
You know, I'll be honest with you. When I first heard that, I'm like, take your, like, you know, like, what is there's a poet, what's his name?
Edgar Allan Poe?
Like, take your Edgar Allan Poe self on somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I always thought about, like, bro, get your goofy tail out of here is what I always thought. When people say, like, find your purpose, like, your inner self, your true self. Mm-hmm. You know? And it always sounded like that to me. It sounded like it was like...
It's like cliche.
It's like cliche, you know what I mean? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what is my purpose? What are you talking about? My purpose is to make money. My purpose is to work. That's my purpose, right? But it's like, the truth is, it's not. I've talked about it before, like at a Friday prayer, one sheik brought it up, and he said I'm talking to my young kids, my young, like my sons and my daughters, and he says every single one of you guys has a skill. That's why you're here. You have to figure out what that is and use it for this life. Mm. You have something. God has given you something. You have to find what it is and use it for this life. You don't just become an academy owner because you see Mo as an academy owner. I want to be like this guy. That's of course good, but is that what you have inside for you? Mm-hmm. You know? And over the years, it woke me up because, like you talk about the German Shepherd, tirelessly biting, tearing things up, going through life, causing chaos. I was doing the same thing. I was just going. I didn't have, what am I doing? I'm just going.
Yeah.
I always told people, imagine like this black highway. Like at night when you're on a road trip. If you drive at night on a road trip, like the highway never ends. If you always look out, and I always do this on a road trip. I always look out. And I always think to myself, where are you going? If I ignore the end of the GPS.
Yeah.
And you just look, you can't see the end of the road. All you see is the black and the white stripes. That's it. At night, it's usually black on both sides if it's fields. And there's just this never-ending highway. And so if you don't have a destination, where are you going? That's the same thing in your life. If you don't have the destination or your purpose, of finding your purpose, of arriving at your purpose, where are you going?
Yeah.
You're not going nowhere. You're going to walk this earth, leave no tracks behind, and die just like many people before us did without leaving anything behind. Or not using their purpose in this life.
Yeah. That's powerful. That's crazy to think about. You just be gone with the wind, be forgotten. What is it? It's like I forgot who his name was. I don't know if it was Alexander. He was like, my goal is not to live forever, but to build something that will.
Yep.
This related to hard work without faith is empty. The importance of trusting the process, like, as you know, in the business, results are not instant. You know, you have to believe that it will happen. It's in the moments when you were in business, right, and it wasn't profitable, or like barely profitable, right? It was like how important it is to have faith in the process. Like, it's gonna come, right? Because a lot of people, especially in this fast age, like, they expect instant results, and if it's not instant, it's not good. Like, how important is it to have faith in those hard times?
So I think if you don't have faith in hard times, you're going to stop. You're done. Okay? And so I think I have another problem, is being stubborn and hard-headed. It's like, or the refusal to quit. Problem is, this can bite you in the butt big time. You know what I mean? You, at the end of the day, sometimes you may have to realize, and when it comes to business now, sometimes you might have to realize to leave it alone. You know? You're going to have to realize to leave it alone, because if you don't, you're sinking the ship and everybody with you. Especially if you have a family. And if you sink the ship with the family, you're screwed. You know what I mean? And so, to a certain extent, you have to have a lot of faith. But you have to have a brain on your shoulders. You have to have a head on your shoulders. You have to be level-headed. You have to be aware. You have to have knowledge. You have to have skills. You have to have a lot of things, not just faith in yourself, not just faith in your skills, not just faith in God. You have to have other things that's going to back you up. Because the problem is with running a business, everybody wants to get into running a business.
Yeah.
Until they realize that they have to work without making money, without receiving a paycheck, for an undisclosed amount of time. Now, how long are you willing to do that?
Yeah.
How long can you do that? Willing and can is two different things for some people that need to understand this. Just because you're willing to do it and you have the money to do it, should you do it?
Yeah.
And when it comes to can, how long can you do it for? Well, when the money runs out, can is gone. That's it. You asked me how long can a few weeks ago. You asked me how long can a business survive without making money?
Yeah.
And I told you, until you run out of money of putting it into it. That's the answer for you. And so when you're running a business, you have to have faith, especially if it's your only business. Okay? Now, when I first opened up, I relied only on my faith because I was not making money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I relied on my faith that this was for me. This was meant to be. And I kept working for it. And it took a couple years, but thank God.
Yeah.
You know? If I quit, would I have ever got over the hump and made something great? No. And if I didn't quit, some other people that I know that didn't quit, but they had the money to do it, they lost a lot of money. But who has a lot of money to just throw in the air?
Yeah. Especially not starting up.
Especially not a startup. So you're going to have to, and each one is going to be a little different, but you're going to have to weigh the consequences. You're going to have to weigh the pros and cons. You know?
Yeah. I just thought about something. You remember that thing that you said about, like, you read from Ed Milet, that it was like your higher self? It was like you go to heaven, right? And you meet your higher self. And, like, you shake his hand and you're like, we're just identical, right? Like, can you imagine you go to heaven, right? Like, you go confront God and be like, why didn't I have all this stuff? Why didn't I have this, like, happy marriage? Why didn't I have the 12 Lamborghinis, this big house, all stuff, right? Imagine he tells you, like, my son, I gave you the opportunity. You just never worked for it.
Bro. You know, something told me you're going to say that.
Really?
Dead serious. Something told me you're going to do that. When you said, see your higher self.
Yeah.
I think that would, I mean, I guess I'm already dead, kind of. that would hurt me more than anything. You know? That would hurt me more than anything, realizing that I could have had more. And it's not even the materialistic aspect anymore for me. It's just the journey, bro. Like, I'm telling you, like, the journey of winning, it makes me excited. It gets me excited, okay? The journey of getting what it is that you believe it is for you to get it, to achieve it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, a lot of us can just stop doing what we're doing and we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Why do you have to do more? Why? Because I believe I need to. You know what I mean? I believe I should. And so, if that was to happen, and I'm over here sitting in front of Sharpen Your Sword, and I got Sharpen Your Sword on my head, and I got it on my chest, right? And I get there, was my sword really sharp, bro? If I get hit in the face with that?
Dang, yeah.
It's not. So, that's a very powerful thing, and I think more people need to realize that. Like, are you really? And I will answer the question for you. I will answer. I bet you the number is 99%, if not more. 99% don't get to see what they truly are here for. They cut themselves short. The people around them cut them short. They never get to see what was really in that basket for them, in that bucket for them. I think the majority of the people would never get to see it. This is just the truth. And I hate to say it, and I'm not encouraging this on nobody. I'm not wishing this on nobody. I actually wish and pray to God that everybody achieves what they want. But I bet you the number is 99%, Gio. How many people around you that you look at the people around you, achieved what they want? Out of 10 people, how many you know have achieved what they want?
I don't know. Nah, I don't know. Probably 0.
Probably 0.
Yeah.
There's your answer. Most of these people are going to go there and see like, man, I should have had this, and this. I could have done this. And the reason, the purpose is bigger than just achieving it. It's what you do in this life. What you give back in this life. Mm-hmm. I believe you have to achieve certain things so you can reach the full opportunity of giving back in this life. Some person may give back, and I don't mean this in a disrespect way, maybe give back at a white belt level for our jiu-jitsu people. There's 5 ranks: white, blue, purple, brown, black. The black is the ultimate level. Okay? The white belt is a starting level. The blue belt is somebody that kind of knows what they're doing, but they're still a beginner. The purple belt, is somebody that's proficient in their field. Brown belt is somebody that's a high level of their field. Maybe getting to a professional of their field. The black belt is the master of their field. Mm-hmm. Right? Although I don't think jiu-jitsu can be mastered, however, but let's just use that. Now, I think as you go through life and you find your purpose and you achieve the things that you're supposed to, you will give back at a level of what you've achieved. You may give back at a white belt level when you should be giving back at a purple belt level. Mm. Or you give back at the blue belt level when you should be giving back as a brown belt level. But you never get to give back at a brown belt level because you never did the work to do it, to get it. And however, I may be biased. I think giving back at any level is good. But I think the ultimate is, and not just being a black belt, but I think when you do it, you do everything as a black belt. You give back as a black belt. Mm-hmm. You do everything as a black belt. You do everything as a master of the art. You do everything as the master, as the one that knows what they're doing at the highest level to the best of their ability. That's what I think you are here to do. To give back at the black belt level. And it's not going to happen if you can't do the work day in and day out to achieve it. And it's not going to happen when you don't bet on yourself day in and day out. When you don't have faith in God. And when you don't do the relentless work to achieve it.
Amen. Amen. A little kind of similar to it, right? The reality of it is, it's you have to have faith, but you also have to put massive action behind it. Because there's a saying in Spanish. It says, now I don't know if this is actually in the Bible, but it's a saying. It says that God says you have to help yourself because I will help you. Right? Help yourself because I will help you. Like I said, if you help yourself, God is going to give you the opportunity. It's never going to fall in your lap. Right? God will give you the opportunity, and you have to take advantage of it. Like, there's this famous story. This guy, he was stranded, like in the ocean, and he was like, God is going to save me. God is going to save me. And then people will pull up in a raft. They're like, come on, get in. He was like, no, God is going to save me. Then people pull up in like a fishing boat. Like, come on, get in. No, God is going to save me. All right, so they get out of there. And then they pull up in a bigger boat, like a yacht. They're like, come on, get in. They're like, no, God is going to save me. And then they pull up like in a freaking Titanic. They're like, come on, get in. They're like, no, God is going to save me. And so everybody passed by and he drowns. Then he goes and confronts God. He was like, God, I had faith in you. Like, I put all my faith in you. Why did you not save me? He was like, God is like, I'm not going to just reach out from heaven and pull you out. He was like, I sent all these people to go help you. You refuse to help. Same way, God will send you all these opportunities to make money, to find you a spouse, to find your purpose, true friendships. It's up to you, like, whether you F that up or not, You cannot say that you never have opportunity. Like, sometimes they'll talk about, like, minorities in America, right? They're like, oh, they never got a chance to actually succeed. I don't believe that's true. I believe everybody's presented with opportunity, and some people reject it. Some people don't take advantage of it. But there will be an opportunity for you, and it's up to you to take advantage of it and follow it with your faith. Massive action and have faith behind it. God will not just, you're not just gonna magically open up your Bank of America account. Oh, 1 million in that motherfucker. It's never gonna happen, you know. But he'll give you an opportunity. I truly believe to get what you want. You know.
I agree with you. I agree. I think there is opportunities, and I think that you have to see them. But again, you're gonna have to do the work. At the end of the day, with the story you just said, as much faith as you have in God, you have to do something.
Yeah.
You know, and I truly deep down inside believe that. God's gonna be there looking out for you, and whatever is written for you, you know, has been written for you years, thousands of years before. And you have to go get it, you know. And before I start wrapping up, you want to add anything, Gio?
There's this quote right here I want to say. It says, "Pray as if everything depends on God. Work as if everything depends on you."
Very powerful quote. And I'm gonna leave you guys with one thing, because me and Gio talked about it multiple times. And I'm gonna say it again: is don't just sit there and believe, guys. Don't believe in faith is you should have it. It should be up there. Maybe number one. Okay, it should maybe be number one, and then the hard work should be number two. To be honest with you, this is what I believe at this point. But whatever it is that you want, it does not matter what it is that you want. Don't wait for it. You have to go and take it in this life. Okay? And this is by respectful, law-abiding means, okay? To make that clear. But you have to go take it. If you sit and wait, you're going to sit and wait until you rot, until you die. Okay? Very few people, things will just end up in their laps. And it necessarily would not just be that it just ended up in their lap. It would be that they have put themselves in the right place, right time, right situation for it to end up in their lap. All right? So the last thing, guys, again, is whatever it is that you want, go take it. Don't wait for it. If you want true fulfillment in this life, you go take it. Okay? If you can't find your purpose in this life, if you can't go after everything that you dreamed of, you're going to always, I'm telling you, you will always think about it. Always you're going to have it in the back of your head. I should have had this. I should have had that. I should have had this. It will always be in your head. And I'm talking about this from experience. Okay? Until I achieved it and I take it out of my head. All right? So go get it, guys. Go take it. I hope this episode was beneficial to you guys. Episode 37, faith and hard work. You have to have both. Okay? At this point in my life, I believe you have to have both. Okay? And maybe 3, faith in yourself, faith in God, and your hard work. All right? So I hope this episode is beneficial to you guys. Let us know what you think in the comments. Please share, help us out, guys. We're trying to grow this podcast to reach more people. Our goal, I think this is one of our purpose, is to give back to people, to get them to sharpen their sword, to become sharper for themselves, for their family, for the community, and for the country, so they can give back more in this life. All right? I'll see you on the next episode of Sharpen Your Sword podcast. I hope you guys have a good one. Peace out.